Welcome to AI on the Block, featuring Max Ledger and Allison Hashwell, presented by Evolve Blockchain.
Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, we try to cut through all that noise out there.
Yeah, the information overload.
Exactly, and just get you those aha moments. Our mission, really, is simple. Distill things down, connect the dots for you, and get straight to the core insights. Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving into something pretty remarkable happening over in Switzerland. It's an initiative that could, well, fundamentally reshape how we think about national reserves, maybe even monetary policy.
And the future of finance, really.
Yeah, absolutely. We're working from some fascinating excerpts about the Swiss Bitcoin Reserve Initiative. This is happening now. It's a live story.
And what's fascinating here, I think, is this incredible mix. You've got Swiss tradition, financial stability, prudence, meeting this pretty radical digital innovation.
It's like a high-tech cuckoo clock.
Something like that. So our mission today is to really understand this proposal, look at the arguments for and against, put it in that global context, see where it fits, and figure out what it could mean for finance, especially for you. Try and make sense of this all.
It's more than just Bitcoin, isn't it?
Oh, much more. It's a deep philosophical debate. What is money now? National strategy, sovereignty in, the digital age.
I couldn't agree more. It feels like a collision course, centuries of Swiss financial know-how hitting the absolute cutting edge. It's about identity, too. How does this stable nation see its future? So let's get right into it. This Swiss Bitcoin Reserve Initiative sounds bold. From the sources, what's the basic idea? What are they actually proposing?
Well, the core idea is actually quite simple on the surface, but really ambitious underneath. And it's citizen-driven, which is key. It comes from the people. They're trying to amend Article 99 of the Swiss Constitution.
Article 99, that's the rule book for the Swiss National Bank, the SNB, right?
Yeah.
Governs their reserves, monetary policy.
Exactly. That's the constitutional backbone for the SNB. And the big change, they want to constitutionally require the SNB to hold Bitcoin right alongside gold in the national reserves.
Wow. Hold on. Alongside gold. Mandated. Constitutionally.
Yep. Think about that. Putting a digital asset into the country's highest law next to gold.
That really raises the stakes, doesn't it? It's not just some policy tweak. And you said citizen-driven. How does that even work in Switzerland? How does an idea like this get traction?
Well, that's Swiss direct democracy for you. It's famous for it. This initiative, it was formally submitted back in December 2024, but that's just step one. Now they need to gather 100,000 valid signatures.
100,000? That's a lot.
It is. And they have a deadline, June 2026. If they hit that number, then it triggers a national referendum.
So the whole country votes on it.
The whole country gets a way in. It really shows this isn't just some academic idea. It seems to have real grassroots support, or at least interest.
Okay, so connecting this to the bigger picture then. The people pushing this, they're not just trying to add another line item to the SNB's spreadsheet. What's the deeper thinking here?
Absolutely not. If you connect the dots, their stated goal is much bigger. It's about sparking a national debate on monetary sovereignty and financial innovation.
Okay, sovereignty and innovation. Makes sense for Switzerland.
Right. Switzerland already has this big reputation as a global crypto hub, right? Very progressive, welcoming environment for digital assets. So this initiative, it's framed as more than just finance. It's a statement about economic philosophy. How does a nation stay independent and forward-thinking today?
It's like asking, what does financial independence even look like in the 21st century?
Precisely. Maintaining relevance, maintaining leadership.
And you touched on why Switzerland. It's no accident this is happening there. They've built this reputation for stability, rule of law, but also innovation. We hear about Crypto Valley and Zug all the time. It's not just talk. They have proactive regulations, clear rules for digital assets.
They've really leaned into it.
Yeah, the government seems genuinely engaged. It makes digital finance feel less like a fringe thing and more like part of their economic plan, which sets the stage for something like this initiative. And the sources mention a key stat. 11% of the Swiss population has apparently already invested in crypto.
That's huge.
It is. 11%. That suggests a level of public understanding, maybe even comfort, that you probably don't see everywhere else. It gives this movement a base.
That 11% figure is really telling, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It shows there's a public conversation already happening, which makes a constitutional debate like this even possible.
Yeah.
And then, if you zoom out, look globally. Switzerland's potential move here looks quite different from what others are doing.
How so?
Well, you mentioned the U.S. created a strategic Bitcoin reserve, but that was mostly seizing assets from terminals, right? Not really a central bank deciding to hold it for monetary reasons.
Right, different motivations.
Then you have some smaller central banks maybe dipping their toes in exploring it. But the big players, the ECB, the Federal Reserve, they've been pretty strongly opposed, vocally so.
Yeah, you hear concerns about stability, control, speculation.
Exactly. So Switzerland is potentially carving out a very different path here compared to the big traditional central banks. It's a fascinating split.
That divergence is really interesting. No single playbook for nations and digital assets. Some see risks, others, like these Swiss proponents, see opportunities. It's a fundamental disagreement on value, money's future. Okay, so focusing on the proponents again, let's flip the coin. What benefits do they see in Bitcoin? Why do they think it belongs in the national reserves, not just as, a speculative bet?
Good question. Their arguments are layered. First, they say adding Bitcoin would directly strengthen Switzerland's monetary sovereignty.
Sovereignty. How does Bitcoin achieve that in their view?
Well, think about it. Holding an asset like Bitcoin, which is decentralized, not controlled by any single government or bank that fundamentally changes the power dynamic, it's about gaining financial self-determination, a kind of digital independence from the traditional financial system, which can be, politically influenced.
So decentralized and permissionless, meaning no single government can mess with it or block access. How is that different from holding gold overseas or even dollars?
Exactly right. When they talk sovereignty, they focus on Bitcoin being decentralized. No central entity controls the supply or rules. And permissionless, anyone can use it. No approval needed. That makes it less vulnerable to things like sanctions, seizure, or political pressure that can affect fiat currencies, government money like the dollar or euro, or even gold stored abroad. It's an asset a nation can truly own independently. Second point, they argue it would seriously diversify their reserves, moving beyond just gold and foreign currencies, adding a completely different type of asset.
Something that doesn't move in lockstep with traditional markets.
Potentially, yes, offering resilience if conventional markets hit turbulence. Third, they see it as a strong hedge against geopolitical risks, an asset that works globally but is controlled locally. Very valuable in an unstable world.
And the last point.
Finally, they believe it would reinforce Switzerland's leadership in digital finance, send a huge signal about embracing innovation, attract more talent, more capital, build on that Crypto Valley reputation.
That's a compelling case they're making. But, okay, there's always another side. The Swiss National Bank, SNB itself, is pushing back. What are their main worries? Put yourself in their shoes. Stability is everything. Now, this volatile digital thing. What's the pushback?
Yeah, imagine being the SNB governor, steeped in that tradition of stability. Their objections are specific and, frankly, quite serious from their perspective. Number one is Bitcoin's extreme volatility.
The price swings.
Massive price swings. For a national reserve that's meant to be a bedrock, an anchor for the economy, having an asset that can jump or plunge 20–30% in days. That's a huge risk for their balance sheet, for managing monetary policy. Second, they worry about liquidity risks, especially in a crisis.
Meaning, can they sell it fast if they need to?
Exactly. Can they convert large amounts of Bitcoin back into francs or dollars quickly without crashing the Bitcoin price itself? Especially if everyone else is trying to sell too. The market might not be deep enough for that kind of institutional scale, unlike gold or major currencies. Then naturally, cybersecurity concerns. We're talking potentially billions in digital assets, protecting that from hackers, from operational mistakes. It's a massive ongoing challenge, very different from guarding gold bars in a vault.
Yeah, you can't just lock it underground.
And finally, they point to crypto's current limited scale. They argue it's just not mature enough yet to handle the kind of volume and transaction demands a national reserve function would place on it.
It really is this fascinating tension, isn't it? Old versus new, established financial wisdom versus disruptive tech potential. And it's happening in one of the world's most financially stable countries. We've heard the arguments: sovereignty, diversification, leadership from the proponents. Then the SNB's real concerns: volatility, liquidity, security. Whatever happens, this deep dive shows it's a pivotal moment.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to join Max and Allison next episode as they dig deeper into the different facets of Evolve blockchain. This has been AI on the Block.